Lesson 1. What's your school like? Listening. Page 62, Task 2A. Listen to the letter Emilia wrote to Lily.
Dear Lily, I haven't received your letter yet, but I've decided to write just a few words to you. We went back to school on Monday. I like school when I do well and get good marks, but I hate it when the lessons are boring. I also don't like it when the other students distract me from working. What do you think of school? I got into trouble yesterday because I was late for school. Dad couldn't start the car and I was half an hour late. My class teacher got really angry at me. I think she should have been angry at my dad. How do you get to school? Are you ever late? This is a picture of me in my school uniform. I really hate it. What do you wear to school? Do you wear a uniform? What's it like? Please, write soon and tell me about your school. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Love, Amelia Jones.
Page 63, Task 4. Listen and read.
That was an interesting lesson. I really like history. It's my favorite subject, after English, of course.
As for me, I don't like memorizing the dates. I got a really bad mark for the history test.
Never mind, Mary. You might have a good mark next time. Anyway, you can ask your teacher to improve the situation.
Well, we decided to visit Terry on Saturday, didn't we?
We did. Let's meet at 4.
Okay.
Lesson 2. Are you a good team? Listening. Page 88, Task 2. Listen and find out what do pupils think about their teachers.
Angela, who's your favorite teacher?
Miss Davis, absolutely.
What does she teach? History?
Geography.
Are you her pet student?
Of course not. She has no pet students. I hate that. She is friendly and kind with all students.
Does she give surprise tests?
Never. She is firm with us, but fair and honest.
What do you like best about her?
She has a very good sense of humour. Her classes are very interesting.
That's exactly why I don't like Mr. Novak. He never laughs or tells jokes. He even punishes us if we don't do homework.
Come on, I don't believe it.
Page 89, Task 5. Listen to the radio show.
Good morning, dear listeners. Our educational program is preparing a book entitled Our Favorite Teachers. It is based on the beautiful and touching stories we got from you so far. Today is the last day for your contributions. So, if you have a favorite teacher, the one who has really inspired you, why not call in and tell us why you liked him or her? Try to keep it short and sweet. Not more than a minute. If we like your story, it will be published in the book and you will get a copy.
Good morning. I'm Bruce. I'm 14. Some teachers I had really inspired me. Last year, I was very fond of my PE teacher. To be honest, at first I hated PE, but he was a great coach. He told us that sports are very much like life. There is teamwork, there's work on your own, there's adrenaline, there is excitement, but there are also rules. If you play by the rules, you can achieve the best results. The training and the hard work are the most important. If you want to have fun all the time, you will lose, both in sports and in life.
Hello, I'm Kim. I'm 13. The teacher I like best is my form master this year. He teaches history. He is not chatty or cheerful. He doesn't tell jokes or make us laugh. But he does one thing. He makes us talk about life. At the beginning of the year, he put up a big poster on the wall with about 50 great people from the history. Kings, queens, artists, writers, philosophers, composers, poets, Nobel Prize winners. and another one with our present celebrities we read about every day. We analyze the reasons for their fame and always make new comparisons. That's so powerful.
Hi, my name is Mate. I'm almost 14. My favorite teacher is Miss H. She is our school psychologist. We have her classes once a week. She talks to us about the role of education in our lives, about emotional and social problems, about culture and civilization, about the media and peer pressure. She treats each student as a human being. We always write anonymous letters to her about whatever problems we have, and then we discuss them in class. And we often play games. She says they are educational, but we don't mind. We all love them.
Hi, I'm Hannah, and I'm 13. I love reading and writing, so my favorite teacher is my current English literature teacher, Miss Butler. Each Friday in Miss Butler's class, we have Fun Friday. Sometimes she organizes a chocolate brownie competition, and after tasting all of them, she makes us write a descriptive story on them. I love it how she teaches us so much, but makes it incredibly fun at the same time. Once we had a funeral procession for 5 words we used too much in our essay. For example, sort of, kind of, stupid, swat, cool, etc. We had a little coffin and burnt a sheet of paper with the 5 words on it, vowing never to use them in our essays again. She is so creative, she could be one of the world's greatest novelists, but instead she chooses to inspire teenagers with English literature.
Speaking. Page 94, Task 4. Listen to the 4 dialogues.
I always leave my mobile phone at home. I think school's not a place for mobile phones.
I don't think so. What if we have to call our parents during the break?
We can use the public phone. If we have our mobiles, we forget ourselves and start sending messages. I agree with this. I get good marks at school, but it's because I want it myself, not because my parents want it.
I don't agree. I believe parents are right to push their children. Kids are lazy.
Speak for yourself.
In my opinion, this is very serious. This new boy really has a hard time. He can't solve this problem by himself. They have to speak to their teacher.
You're right. I think they also have to speak to this stupid bully.
Of course, but I'm not sure he wants to listen. I like it when people take care of themselves. I think that's bad.
I agree with you, but this is too much. This girl only thinks about herself and her pretty face. She misses out on a lot of other things like fun, sport, and friends.
Pages for readers. Page 106, Task 1. Listen and read the story.
Good morning, Miss Dove. After Francis Gray Patton.
Miss Dow was a strict teacher. If a pupil wanted to leave the classroom to get a drink of water, Miss Dow just looked at him and said nothing. They were afraid of that look, and they called her the terrible Miss Dow, though she never shouted at them or scolded them. On that day, 40 children were sitting in her class at the geography lesson. They heard the bell, but they didn't move. They didn't talk. They all waited in silence and looked at Miss Dow. Only after she had told them to close their books and go, they left the classroom quietly without shouting or running. A boy who had talked during the lesson was left in the room and had to write 20 times, "I must not talk during the lessons." The next lesson began. The pupils came into the classroom and took their places. Miss Dow gave them written work to do because it was Tuesday, and on Tuesdays they always had some written work. One of the boys pushed the girl who was sitting next to him. Miss Dow looked at him, and he stopped moving, though she didn't scold him. Miss Dow looked at the boy, but she didn't see him. Instead of him, she saw his elder brother, Thomas Baker, who had sat in that place some 6 or 7 years before. The war had brought the children she had taught at different parts of the world. One was in Germany, another in the jungle of New Guinea, a third one somewhere in Africa. She didn't know where all of them were. Though all of them had finished school many years before, she now saw them as they had been at 7, at 10, at 12. The pupil she thought about most often was Thomas Baker. German planes had bombed his ship, and for many days he had lain on a raft without anything to eat and very little to drink. When they found him, he was almost dying. The newspapers wrote much about him in those days. Randy Baker put his hand up. "Yes, Baker?" Miss Dove asked. "I got a letter from Tom yesterday," the boy explained. "May I read it to the class?" "Yes, certainly. But it's a long one. I'm sure it will be useful for everyone to hear the letter of such a brave man," explained the teacher. Randy looked around and began to read. Tom told his younger brother what he had seen from the plane in which he was brought back to England. He wrote that the land below looked like the map and they had used at the geography lessons at school. Then he wrote how he had suffered on the raft with almost no water to drink. "Do you know who I was thinking about then? It wasn't a boy or a girl," he explained. "I was thinking about Miss Dow. And out there in the open ocean, I played a game. No, I'm not joking. And it helped me to stay alive. I imagined that I was back again in the geography class. I remembered the look Miss Dow gave us when we wanted to leave the classroom for a drink of water. So I imagined that I was at her lesson and kept thinking all the time, the bell will go in a few minutes. You can wait a little longer. You must wait for the bell." And it made everything easier. It was almost as difficult there in the ocean as it had been at school. Tell that to the boys, will you? Randy stopped suddenly. "Is that all?" Miss Dow asked. "No," said Randy. His face became very red. "It says here, please thank Miss Dow and give her a kiss for me." Miss Dow went up to the boy. "Well, Randy," she said, "I'm waiting." In the silence that followed, little Randy kissed the terrible Miss Dow. Nobody in the class laughed or even joked about it. Everybody was silent except one girl who suddenly spoke. "It's like a medal," she said. "It's just like a medal he has given to Miss Dow."